Hello everyone, Daniel Yuck here. Thank you all for tuning in today. I appreciate you. Today we're going to be diving into an in-depth review. We're going to be taking an up-close look at this stencil printer right here from a company called Tat2Skin. This is going to be known as the Inkfuel Pixma GM2040 bundle. I will leave links in the description below so you can check this out on your end. In this video, we are going to be diving into an in-depth review. We're going to be unboxing this together. We're going to be taking a look at all of the contents. We're going to be setting up the printer. We're going to be printing stencils and putting them on human skin. So by the end of this video, you should be really well acquainted with what to expect on your end. Should you have any questions at any point throughout this video, I highly encourage you to drop a comment below. I will do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive straight on into this. Okay, so where I would personally like to begin is at the beginning. We're going to take an up-close look at all of the contents that are inside in its entirety. So let's open up the hood here and let's see what's inside. So as you can see, we are greeted with a Tat2Skin marker with a ruler there, as you see. We have a little slip here on how to apply tattoos using the stencil stuff. We do have a beautiful sticker here, holographic sticker, as you see. I'm definitely going to use that. We are greeted with a thank you card. Feel free to pause at any point to read through these. Tat2Skin. I will leave links in the description below for you so you can check this out on your end. We have what looks like, as we see, it says 250, but there's two, so there's a total of 500 sheets here. This doesn't have the purple carbon sheet, as that's not necessary. This is only the top white part of the stencil paper here. We are going to be using a liquid to apply these stencils here, and we're going to get into that as well. But as you can see, we have 500 sheets of stencil paper. We have an electric plug to power on the printer. We have a USB cable. So as you can see, upon moving this side right here, we do see the ink fuel right here. This is the stencil printer liquid that we're going to be using. And we are going to be setting this up on camera together, so bear with us as we will get there here shortly. So this is the bottle of stencil ink there that we're going to be using now. As you can see, we do have the stencil stuff, greatly appreciated. Now we also have what looks like some black ink, and we also have a funnel to input the ink with, so we're going to be using that as well. And as you can see, we have a guide on this side, which is a user manual that instructs us on how to utilize the printer. As you can see, multiple different languages there. We have a startup disk, as you can see, to install drivers on our computer should we choose to do so. I'm going to be using this with my iPad. If I'm correct, this is compatible with iPads and Androids and iPhones, so I'm going to be using my iPad to send information to this printer. But as you can see, this is the printer in its entirety. What I'm going to do is we are going to change the angle and we're going to take the printer out so that way we can take a close look at it. Okay, so we are now going to get into the setting up. I haven't taken it out of the plastic yet, as I wanted to do that with you all here on camera. So let's go ahead and do that. So as you can see, this is the printer up close in its entirety. And as you see, we have a seal right here that says Tat2Skin Tattoo Flash Printer powered by Canon Pixma. So this is the front of the printer right here. As you can see, it says Canon there. And the interface looks very user-friendly and straightforward. I am going to be linking this with my iPad, so that way I'm going to be sending the information directly to the printer from the iPad. As you can see, the model is GM2040. And on the top, this is the seal that I was mentioning a little while ago. As you see right there. So to me, this stencil printer, or this printer, feels like it's a dedicated printer to tattooing. That's some of my first impressions here. So this is the back of the printer right here. I covered the serial number with some painter's tape for those who were curious. And as you see over here on this side, we have the USB input, and then we have the electric input there, as you see right here. So it's all very straightforward. So I'm gonna start by removing all of the orange tape here all the way around the printer. Let's actually take a look under the hood here. And this is what the printer looks like. This is the components and everything of the printer. Okay, so prior to putting in the ink fuel, what we're gonna wanna do before is put in the cartridge right here. So the cartridge is going to look like this as shown earlier in the video. As you can see, it looks exactly like that. So we're going to want to open up this right here. I'm going to start by moving this to the side. As you see, there's this little clip. I'm gonna move that on over. That comes right up. And then I'm going to get this in here. As you can see, this little up button, press that. We pick that up. Now what we're gonna wanna do is grab our cartridge, which is this right here. I'm going to remove the sticker like so, and it does say black on it. And then you're just simply going to want to put that right in there, like so. As you saw, it fell right in, no issues at all. I'm going to close it, press down, and that's the first step. Now what we're gonna wanna do is pour the ink fuel right in. Now, to my understanding, pouring the ink fuel in the printer is very straightforward and simple. You're gonna wanna pick up the hood here, and there's this little pop here, this little top. You're gonna wanna pick that up like so. And then this is where the ink fuel is gonna go. We are gonna wanna use a funnel to do this. It doesn't necessarily cup around and fit in there snug. However, we can guide the ink fuel in the reservoir there. So this is the ink fuel here. And let's just go ahead and begin pouring away. So I'm just gonna line this up as best I can, and I'm gonna do this slowly so that way I don't have any incidents here. And as you see, I'm just doing it very, very slowly so that way I don't over flood this and make a mess here. That was a little too fast. And then if you can see down here, it is filling up. I'm just really taking my time with this as I don't want to make a mess here. So that's all of it, as you can see. I'm just trying to get the last bits there. So once I'm done pouring in the ink, what I'm gonna do is close the top, or the ink fuel. Then I'm gonna close the hood, and we are now ready to start sending information here. We're gonna put in some paper, and then we're gonna go ahead and test out printing some stencils right now. What I wanna do is I'm gonna show you all how to insert the paper. So what we're gonna do is we're going to grab the printer tray down here, and I'm going to insert all of the papers on here and then just place it back in. So these are the stencil papers from Tat2Skin. So I'm just going to organize the paper and then just simply place it in here. Like so. And that's exactly how I'm going to place the papers in there. And I took all 250 there as well. So all 250 are there. There is a little bit of wiggle room right here, so I'm going to use this little blue plate and I'm going to push that over to the side, as you can see, and it firmly locks the papers in there, so there's no wiggle room or next to none at all. So make sure that you do that as well. And then you're just going to want to place this right back in the bottom, just like that. And I did put the whole roll of 250, and I just left one out that got crinkled along the way. Okay, so now that we have gotten the inks all set up and the paper is in there, we are now ready to start sending and communicating information between the printer and my iPad. Devices is going to vary, but the concept will still be the same. Within the bundle, you do get a manual here that allows you to, you know, go step by step on how to connect. It's very straightforward, as we would pretty much any other device. As you see right here, this is the app that we're going to want to download, which is the Canon Print Inkjet/selfie. You're going to want to download that to your device, whether it's an iPhone, Android, or an iPad, and you're going to want to use that app again to communicate back and forth with your printer. So after I've done that, I went ahead and I installed it and I connected my iPad to the printer. And to do that as well, that is right here, as you see. That's how we would connect. Very straightforward process there. Let me show it around this way so that way you can pause at any point so that way you can thoroughly read that. So I didn't have any issues setting up the printer with the iPad. That part is a very straightforward process. I'm sure that it'll be the same on your end. Now, let me show you the app here. So we're going to go into the app, and this is what the app interface looks like right here. Forgive me. So this is what the app interface looks like, and as you can see, the printer is right here at the bottom. So one thing that I love about this printer is now I can print shading. Before, I was only able to print lines because I was using a thermal printer, and I wasn't able to get shading, so therefore I always had to have a reference, and I wouldn't have it live in the stencil. This is the maintenance area of the printer, so you can click on there, and it's gonna allow you to perform maintenance, or, you know, allow you to access the printer, so to speak. I'm gonna go over here to the photo print area specific. I'm gonna go over to the smartphone area, and I'm going to select a picture here, and I'm going to add it. As you see, we have one image added, and I'm gonna go next. Now this right here, as you can see, it's very elaborate. We have a lot of details. We have shading as well right there. So I do feel that this is a great picture to really illustrate the power of the printer here, and you can see that there's shading and everything right there on the eyes and in the forehead. And I did all of that within the iPad. I'm gonna go ahead and hit print, and allow me to just leave it here so you can see the process. So as you can see right here, this is the printing. I don't want to touch it as I don't want to smear the ink there. I want it to dry. But as you can see, we have a stencil there. But up close, you can see everything translated well. You can see all of the details. So allow me to print here the same design, but with just lines. So that way we can really see the difference and really see that the shading is really going to help within the tattooing workflow. Upon applying the tattoo, being able to see the shading live is everything, in my opinion. So you can see right here, this is just lines. So from this to this right here, that is a tremendous difference, as you can see. So as you can see though, the printer is very dynamic with how it prints. I'm actually very impressed with how this is printing here. I'm actually very excited also to put these on human skin to see how they transfer as well. That's a beautiful design right there, as you can see. It looks beautiful as well. It printed great. Again, allow me to allow this to dry, and I'm gonna bring you up top so that way we can get a better view at these designs here. Okay, so here are some designs that I printed with the Tat2Skin printer here. And as you all can see, we really got the dynamics of the shading. Like, this one really demonstrates the potential and the power of this printer right here. You can really see the difference right here from lining versus lining with shading. You can see on this design right here, we do have like lines trying to mark and indicate where the shading is going to go, but it really doesn't do it justice as this right here, as you can see. And allow me to really zoom in so you can see. And it does have a purple tint. I'm not sure if that reflects well on the camera here, but these do have a purple tint to them. And then allow me to show you, and all this was done on the iPad just to confirm. And this one right here was off the internet, and as you can see, it really captured all of the shading there as well. It really did a great job printing that stencil right there. That's fabulous. That's amazing. So we can really see the true potential here of this printer. We can really see the capabilities. I want to push the boundaries real quick. I also want to try a different style of stencil here that has like, it's real elaborate, as you can see. Now allow me to print and then I'll show you why it's elaborate, and I want to see the capabilities on how well this really prints here. I don't really resize from the app. I do all of the sizing in my Procreate app. I use the same size measurements as the paper in Procreate, so that's pretty much how I size it, by using the actual paper size. So here we are up close, and as you can see, that's awesome. That reads well. So at this distance, you can see it looks great. You can read a different image as opposed to that. So at a close-up glance, we have just dots, but when we start backing out, we have image. So I hope these are some good demonstrations here on the true power of the Tat2Skin printer. So as you can see, that is amazing. We have so much dynamic, so much different tones and shadings going on there. It's that's great to see the stencil live on the skin like that, as opposed to having to reference. I mean, even having a reference, you can never go wrong. You still want that reference. However, this right here, you can see it's really illustrating the true power and potential of this printer, and I feel like I should exhaust that here in this video for those who are looking to invest into this printer as well. Okay, so let's get into the application part. As you see, I am loading the arm with the stencil stuff that came with this bundle here from Tat2Skin, and I'm applying a thorough amount here because I want to make sure that I get a good bind from the stencil to the skin. So I'm placing an amount and I'm kind of working it into the skin to where it becomes tacky, if that makes sense. So once I get that tacky filling, I'm ready to apply the stencil. I lay down the middle part like so, and then I wrap it around with a napkin. Makes it real easy, real swift for me. I'm applying a little bit of pressure. And as you can see, we have a great stencil. So up close, you can see all of these shades, all of the different tones and shadings there transferred to the skin as well. Now from here on out, it's just about letting it dry, so that way we can apply the stencil and not lose it along the way. But you can really see the integrity of the stencil transferred to the skin wonderfully. And you can even see the texture of the skin, how close we are here. Okay, so here we are again. I'm going to apply the same design, but in another area, just to kind of give you all a good idea as to how these stencils transfer. And I'm going to do it in a more technical area right here. As you can see, we're doing it on top of the hand that already has tattoos in that area. And this is going to be more to illustrate the integrity of how the stencil transfers on different parts of the body. So we did it on the arm, now we're doing it on top of the hand. Same way, I'm placing it on the hand, place it over in the middle, and then down with a napkin to fold it all smoothly. Same way like we did before. And as you can see up close and personal, again, the shades transfer with the integrity of the design. All of that is in there captured, as you can see. The shadings, there's different tones, there's different values in there, there's different gradients. all of that is there. So from here on out, it is a waiting game, allowing the stencil to dry. You're going to want to let it dry for maybe about 15-25 minutes. The longer the better is how I see it. Let's actually get into a different aspect here. I wanted to get into this important variable. Now, we were letting this stencil sit for about 15 to 20 minutes, give or take. So it's been sitting for a little bit, and I have some Vaseline here. And as you can see, I'm really working it into the skin in efforts to remove the stencil. So what I'm trying to do here is to see how the stencil is going to hold up upon wiping. Keep in mind, this has been sitting anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, give or take. And as you can see, it is not coming out. I'm really working it, and I'm going to be getting more Vaseline here. As you can see, we're just going to work it into the skin, rubbing it all over the site there, the stencil, in efforts to actually try to remove it. And as you can see, the integrity is holding up. So what I'm trying to illustrate is, upon applying the tattoo with the needles, upon applying the actual tattoo, the stencil is going to hold up, and we will be able to get through these sessions without losing the stencil earlier on. So if you were worried about that, you can see right here that the stencil is actually really hard to remove once we allow it to actually sit and rest in the skin. So I'm truly going above and beyond here at this point to really illustrate the integrity and the strength of the stencil holding up throughout the process of applying the tattoo. As you can see, I'm just working my way even to the areas that have shades in there, and we're still able to really see that. So this right here gives me a lot more confidence and a lot more leeway to recommend this specific printer because of that, because it prints shades. And not only that, when we apply it to human skin, it holds up well, as you can see clearly. The skin's almost getting red now at this point from all the rubbing that I've done, so I'll now stop. But you get the idea. The point was illustrated there for you all. Okay, so let's go ahead and close out the video. I'm going to give you all my final opinions on the Tat2Skin 2040 bundle that you see in front of me. Now, all in all, I do feel like this is a solid product. I can highly recommend this to any tattoo artist who is looking for a new stencil printer, and I would recommend this for various reasons. Setup was not complicated at all. It was very, very swift, rather. I do get the impression that this is a tattoo dedicated printer, which is something that I personally love. And as well as, my favorite feature is that I am able to print shadings. As you see, we put this one down testing it on human skin earlier, but you can still see the integrity of the shades there within the print. Allow me to show you a comparison up close yet again. This is just a line version of this design right here. And then we also have the shaded version, as you can see. And the printer really does a good job at the shades. And as you can see, like right here in this area, for example, it's really, really nice shades. So that right there alone, the fact that it can print lines and shades, is everything to me, and it completely changes the workflow and the way that I go about applying tattoos. Now, yet again, I'm going to be giving this right here a 2 thumbs up and a 5 stars. If I can give it a 10 thumbs up and a 10 stars, I would. However, this right here from Tat2Skin is going to get a 2 thumbs up and a 5 stars from me for those reasons. Now, at any point throughout this in-depth video, if I didn't touch base on anything specific that you may have wanted to know, please, I'm going to encourage you to drop a comment down below. I'm going to do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. I also have social medias all under the same name as my YouTube channel, all under Daniel Yuck, DanielYuck. I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I would truly appreciate the support on there. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for me and ring that bell, as I will be bringing more videos like this for you all. Thank you for tuning in yet again. Everyone have a great day.